Is it you?
The negative energy, the thoughts.
Or is it what we've inherited? Have we? I mean, it's not either or. It could be a bit of both, right?
Yeah. That's a really good question. Sometimes it feels like I'm just playing a program. That is a role. Maybe that is inherited. Maybe it's from a TV character or from a boss or a colleague or something. And you're just answering back in the same way. If you look at how kids copy your words and your mannerisms, it's incredible.
Yeah. Or even colleagues in the workplace.
Yeah.
If you've got a big shouty boss,
Yeah.
very suddenly everyone's parroting them, and you've got a miserable situation.
Did you at school? Did you have catchphrases or words that would just spread around?
Yeah, like wildfire.
Yeah.
In one playtime.
Yeah.
And people would be saying it even though they didn't know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Much like that.
Yeah. I suppose that's what trending and hashtag is now, right?
Yeah.
Just kind of, so we're inheriting a lot of this stuff.
Yeah.
So how much of it is any of that ours?
So why hold on to it?
Yeah.
If we haven't consciously installed it, or
if it's not something that's obviously not serving us,
we should let go of it.
Yeah.
But it is serving a purpose. To ruminate serves a purpose. It might be unhealthy or faulty mechanism, but the idea is that how I see it is you felt something and you didn't like part of that feeling, like maybe you're angry or sad and you didn't really express that fully, or you didn't feel it, you don't know how to let go of that yourself or be with that, and it gets stuck in a thought. So instead of the energy coming out or just letting go, it just sticks there, and that's why the mind has that energy ruminating around.
There's also the aspect of busyness within modern life, right? Like if you crammed every minute of your day for the self, there's lots going on, then actually the emotional lag time it takes to feel an emotion, wherever that came from earlier on in the day, probably bleeds into maybe your commute, maybe the long coffee queue, maybe your first row, something like this, where so much is going on and you've still got this lag time from an emotion earlier in the morning, which might have been something family related or worry related.
Well, I mean, decades ago.
Exactly, and still not worked on. Well,
we're always taught to put stuff off. It could be sit still in class, don't go with that feeling or that expression. You can have this dessert later. It's all about, or socializing is a lot about pushing off how you feel now to act a certain way. But you don't want everyone to be a toddler right now. You want people to do a bit of that, because if everyone was a toddler just screaming and
nothing like
that, it would be awful.
But this is maybe swinging too far the other way.
This is.
That's fascinating.
And
in a way it fits back into the brain as a gut. Which we could probably link to here. But if we've got this urge starting, and that urge is the input, and we're not processing it, then it's going to get stuck in the system.
So you're saying life is so busy these days, we don't stop. We're just taking data in, and we're not stopping to either feel or express
or process properly. So you maybe have an element of malnutrition, poor digestion, and poor output. And this just leads to a cycle of...
Well, for myself, with my ADHD, or I don't know if it's that, but that kind of, I think it's connected. I actually quite like to ruminate. I like to be doing something. It's better than being bored. So I find myself sometimes I just have to find something to do. And it took me ages, because I'd always feel like the ruminating and the negative thoughts were being done to me. There was a feeling of being hard done by. I'm and that would sort of bleed onto the situation or the person I was thinking about. And I'd be thinking, it's them, they're causing this. But actually, it took me a long time to realise that I just get bored, and I want to think about stuff that gives a little emotional feeling. And I'd rather be annoyed than do nothing.
It takes a lot of time and space to do. Which if you're not practiced, and your day is so busy, when is any of this going to happen? Because even if you've got time, let's say you give yourself a holiday, well, actually, doesn't that lean into the fact that a lot of our patterned behaviours might be just to shut that voice up.
Yeah.
There's a bit of discomfort. It's like, oh, there's that worry again. Let's order another drink.
Yeah.
There's that worry again. Let's just cram loads of stuff into this holiday. Because I don't want to be on holiday and be thinking about this demon here again with me. But, the phrase demon's quite loaded.
Yeah, but we were talking about this concept about in the Middle Ages, or it's even still with some religions, they think negative thoughts are demonic or from a bad place.
Or external
to the person.
And it's part of the diagnostic classification for certain conditions as well.
Yeah, okay.
So if you have things, it's part of leaning into some diagnosis towards psychosis if thoughts are feeling like they're being inserted into your head. So, whilst in a cultural context or certain religious context that's different, it's still there. But in the absence of that cultural context, then it can be seen as part of a disease process.
Yeah.
But it is interesting how all these different views on this same internal negative thought, whether it's a negative inner monologue, whether it's a negative rumination, or even an auditory hallucination, actually hearing external voices when there's no one else in the room. And interestingly, that's also very culturally specific. So just because it's not prevalent in this culture does not in the UK where we are now in terms of part of cultural experience doesn't mean to say it's not experienced around the world. And there are cultures in the world where it is that's what happens. And then experiencing voices, especially from family members who've passed on and that kind of thing, very, very common indeed. And therefore it's not pathological in that sense because it is part of the cultural experience.
That's interesting. I'm just thinking about a spectrum now. I don't know if this works, but on one side, if you've got just ruminating and really just believing everything that your mind says. And I was going to put on the other side like a kind of psychosis where you feel like it's been inserted in, it's almost like it's from somewhere else. I don't know if that kind of works as a spectrum because both are quite bad.
I think there's so many other nuances to it. There's probably much more than a spectrum. It's also shooting this way and the other two.
Isn't it? Yeah.
But there's so much about how much we're internalizing of things we don't want to internalize.
Yeah. I do like the idea though of thinking that treating negative thoughts as if they're not mine. Like not feeling like I don't think the demon's given me them or something, but I feel like they come from a bad energy place, just a low vibrational like fear place that's from my mind. But treating them as if they're not me. And so I quite like that idea of reading about these these religions and stuff that think that the thoughts, the negativeness comes from somewhere. And so you treat it like with that respect that that's a bad thing that I should just not engage in. And do something positive instead.
Have a boundary to it.
It's kind of an impureness because a lot of negative thoughts are just like a bit. This is a bit negative. They're a bit like, oh, someone said this to you. You're small unless you've got to stand up for yourself. They're all little whiny things at ourselves, and it's like it is a bit like some little creature sitting on your shoulder, just going, oh, So to treat it like that, I quite like. In a way. But I don't think it came from anywhere.
I mean, this is the thing of being identified, isn't it? If you over-identify with anything, when you really analyze it, it's not based on anything. You're not any more your worries than you are your hopes. And just, for example, very recently I've been doing the same exercise with my daughter when she gets worried about, some certain life events happening, things setting on fire. It's still very unlikely. It does happen, but it's very, very unlikely. It's quite unlikely that Taylor Swift is going to join us for breakfast tomorrow morning. But we're not fixating on that, and we're not identifying with that. But the fire or burglars or those kinds of things are my daughter's worried about. So you're just trying to reframe that to her. That if you get over-identified with this thing, with the worry, then you are grabbing onto something, and actually over time, as it seems to be the case, that not just lots of cultures, lots of religious practices, lots of neuroscience practices too, and the wellness. Everything's pointed towards the fact that over time and as we age, you eventually have to let go of everything too.
Yeah.
When it comes to the point of your dying.
You do, yeah.
What are you holding on to there?
Yeah.
And if you're not letting go of it before the dying process, at what point?
At what point? Yeah.
Like when you retire and put all that in the bin and things change for you considerably and your function starts to go, how many things do you have to let go at that point? So what we're picking up to and over-identifying with doesn't need to be with us. It certainly wasn't with us before, and after a certain period of time it won't be with us. So we're choosing to hold it.
Yeah, but that isn't our identities are made with that. A lot of people are just, they live to like get one over on someone, or they live in their worries, really. And we all do it a bit. And the idea of having none of that and letting go of everything is quite a big thing.
Yeah.
And like there's a natural fear to that.
Because we're driven in a context of scarcity.
Yeah.
So that's the first thing that comes in. If you start thinking, I'm going to let go and kind of think of bigger things, or well, someone will get ahead of you. Someone might make more of this, or might have a bigger XYZ, or might live. No, there's all of this what ifs. But it's the same unlikely scenario that doesn't exist. The positive thing that's unlikely to happen is equally as unlikely as the negative. Neither of that happened. Not going to happen. Don't just keep going on one side. Why not try thinking about the other side?
Yeah.
They're both equally as ridiculous and equally pointless.
Yeah. And I know manifesting's like a bit of a term that's used a lot. And there's obviously no science behind it that I'm aware of. But I can understand how if you keep repeatedly think about the negative, you'll see the negative more and more. If you're just carrying around this sort of negative energy, you're going to see it more in your life. Yeah. And so you kind of maybe do manifest it in a way. You just bring in more negative stuff. So why not bring the positive?
Yeah. And then even with the positive, realise that this is where the letting go comes in. So I can pick this up, I can pick this up, but in both situations I'm picking something up. It's not with me.
Right.
So I can let go.
Yeah.
And at some point, when I go, I'm going to have to ultimately let go. It's never too early to start thinking about that process.
No. But it's both the easiest, naturalist thing to let go of thoughts and things.
You reckon? For a lot of people?
I think it is, and it isn't. Like when you are on holiday and you're completely relaxed on the beach and not thinking about anything, and you're just part of the scene, you're like one with everything. You hear the waves. You just don't need to change it. Nothing needs to change. Everyone will have experienced that, and that will just happen just from getting relaxed on holiday.
Yeah.
A certain state in the nervous system and the mind. So in a way, it's natural.
If you get them.
Yeah.
And I think maybe increasingly there's an argument that more of us in the context we live in are finding it harder to get there.
Yeah, I agree. Though it's easy and it's like the hardest thing.
And one of the most common things when we do any of the so-called repetitive problematic behaviors, what's the first thing that happens in each scenario? That first alcoholic drink, that first time you pop onto your phone and start scrolling, what's the first thing that happens? The internal monologue goes off. That's the thing that's being turned off in each of these situations.
Yeah.
And rather than channel it through, work it out, like you say, maybe sit with the emotion for a bit, maybe process it with someone else. It's just like, let's just push it away. Let's just push it away. If it hasn't worked. And the thing is, like you say, if it's there and impairing your function, then what you might have is an initial negative emotion, which has been, like you say, inhibited and pushed down. Then on top of that, from that, by being ignored, and maybe alcohol is used to keep it quiet, or, distractions and doom scrolling and TV is used to keep it quiet. When it comes back up, it's more uncomfortable because you haven't got rid of it. Two, now you know that it's there and lurking. Yeah. Is it impairing your day-to-day activity? And if you now are letting it impair your day-to-day activity, now you've got a worry plus worse function. Yeah. And then a snowball.
I would also say that those things, like especially doom scrolling, are kind of just encouraging that. So when you stop doing something, you're going to miss that. They're keeping you entertained, so you're just going to feel that drop off of like input.